What's up, guys? It's Havo back doing another video. This one is just me chatting about this game that I was working on. It was something I started with my artist. His name is Shroom Arts, and he's the one that did the artwork for Legend Bowl. And what we were trying to do here was create a prototype, see how far we could get while the porting for Legend Bowl was being done. And this is where kind of we left off. I just pulled the project up to kind of see where where it was at, and where we left off. And there's some things in here I wanted to just share with you and just talk about it and just see what you guys think. I just put a tweet out a minute ago about this game, and if you guys think I should keep working on it, I don't know what I'm going to do. But one thing I do know is that artwork is super important for games. If you don't have artwork, then you don't have a game. If you don't have really good artwork, then it makes your game a lot more difficult to sell and to get people to your door, right? So the way I see it is your artwork needs to bring people to your game. And once they get to your game, then your gameplay and your game design and the way the game feels is the next part, right? So you can have great gameplay, but if your game has no appeal to bring someone over and create interest, right? Then what's the point, right? So art is huge, and getting artists to help you with your game is really, really challenging. My artist, he's got a full-time job. He does this on the side for fun. And getting him interested in the game, it takes some back and forth. And I can't just, pick and choose whatever I want to work on and have, art at my door. So getting art is super important. And this is a game that we were working on. Now, the objective of this game was, who the hell knows? We don't know. It was just come in and start shooting people. And kind of like a battle royale game where you go around and you try to get through boards and see how far you can get. Maybe you can collect some items, get a high score. You can see all your stats and kind of just work through a game in a small little game, right? There's a game called Death Run TV. They do it okay. I think I could do it even better, to be honest with you, in some ways. But that's kind of the concept in a very, very general state, right? And I started working on it. So I have basically this screen, which is your player select screen that I was working on. And you can kind of go through here and customize. You can put the helmet on or off. And there are different players and skins that you're going to be able to unlock and get. And that was kind of the idea of the game. You go through here, use a mouse, keyboard, WASD keys. And this was kind of cool because this to me was a Legend Bowl kind of secret guy here that we were working on. And he may or may not be secret. I don't know. But a lot of this stuff was working. These boxes here, the way you see these numbers here, that's all just for me doing debugging. But I was working hard on this for about a week or so. And then I just stopped and I said, I'm going to go back to Legend Bowl and work on Legend Bowl. But the problem I'm having, once again, is that Legend Bowl needs to be ported to consoles, which is a great thing. I'm not upset about that. I hope consoles kill it. I don't know what it's going to do. It could do great. It could do nothing. It could do anywhere in between. But I'm hopeful that it does great because I want to work on another Legend Bowl. And I kind of want to work on it now. Problem is, I really can't do too much right now beyond designing and some offline things because the game is being ported. And you guys have probably heard me say this before, but the code is right now in a brand new version of Game Maker. So if you think about my current code, it was transformed completely because Game Maker took the entire code structure and the way the engine is built and the way the engine runs, and they literally threw a grenade into it. And so when you look at the comparison between before and after doing the upgrade, that alone, you cannot connect the dots. There's no chance. So the upgrade that we've had to do is brand new. And right when you do the upgrade, the game breaks, everything breaks. And then so there are a lot of things that need to get fixed as part of that upgrade. So it's technical debt, they call it in the IT world. You have to deal with making sure that your code is up to date with the latest version of whatever software or third-party tools you're using to build your game. And so, anyways, that's part of the problem I have. So we had to do that. On top of it, we're in the middle of porting the game. And if you guys don't really know what that means, that's fine. I really didn't either. Porting the game means you have to take the code that you currently have and you have to make it run on whatever consoles you're going to. In our case, we're targeting the three major consoles: PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. And the game has to pass their requirements. It has to pass all of their validation checks, and the game has to run smoothly at 60 frames per second. The game has to be able to save properly in the file structures that those games use. There are a lot of components that are tied to it. The point is that the code for Legend Bowl is what I would use to continue for Legend Bowl 2. Problem is, as you can hear, everything inside the code is changing. So you guys have heard this on multiple things. I talked about it in my stream with Sean Wignall the other day. And the fact of the matter is, to touch the code while it's being ported is going to cause me double the work, right? So if I do 3-4 months of work while it's being ported for Legend Bowl 2, if I do that kind of work, then I have to go back and I have to take all of those changes and find a way to make them and add them to the new version of the game, because we're going to have a new version for the Legend Bowl console release, right? It's going to be a huge major difference between what we have now and what's coming. So it's kind of hard to navigate those waters. That's where this game came up. That's where the golf game that I was working on came out. I even looked at working on the Alien Axe game. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might not work on any game. I might work on designing Legend Bowl 2. I might work on this. At the end of the day, I have some time on my hands and I need to fill it with something. So I popped this up here. That was a long story, I get it, but I wanted to make sure I kind of like laid it all out for you guys so you know where I'm at mentally. And this game, you can customize these characters, you can change their outfits, you can change their heads. The idea was you have a group of guys that you pick, you have ones that are locked, so you really can't, you don't have everybody off the get. You have, bios for the guys, you have stats. This is all basically placeholder data right here. But the idea was I started to get in the groove of making this, right? And I said to myself, okay, well, if I made this, and the guy that gets chosen here, this is still all in progress. There are things that are broken. I was working on the, you can see the way he runs, just doesn't even look perfect yet. I had some things I was kind of working on, but you can shoot your gun. You can actually break apart things. The walls stop you. You see like, debris that comes off the wall. You can blow up these containers. You can run around. You can throw bombs. The game might break because I was in the middle of coding here, so if it does, we'll just restart it. You can pick up guns. You can switch through your guns with the scroll of the mouse. You can shoot grenades and blow everything up. Right now, the AI was very simple, but I turned the enemy AI off, so they're just standing there. So, whoops. Uh-oh, I just did something wrong here. Hold on. There we go. So these enemies here, I can shoot a grenade and blow them up. They don't do anything right now. Even the art's messed up because I was trying to work on adding new art to the game. And, but all these guns were a lot of our focus. We were trying to get the guns to shoot the proper way and the projectiles to go through. And then you can scroll through, like I said, and you have grenades, etc. But the game was just being started, right? We were working on the design of it, the UI, as you can see here on the bottom right, you have the health. You have like, if you have a helmet on, which I don't, but that's kind of the placeholder for the helmet. You get some armor in that case. And then you also have, your bullets on the left. You have what kind of, bullets you're using and also what weapon you're using. So we were kind of just chipping away. And that's what you need to do with games. You need to chip away at a concept and get to a point where the game starts to become something worthwhile, right? Like even the collisions here are off because you shouldn't be that close to the wall. I made a change to the art. So that's changed now. But the idea is you start off with, this is a cool gun too, though. I like that. You start off with a game concept and you start working on it and you start chipping away. And just like building a Lego set, you come up with a game that, you know, gets created from thin air, and then you start building on it. And before you know it, you have something, right? It took me over 4 years to work on Legend Bowl. That was a long time. That game was a huge game for me. I'm a single dev, my first game ever made. And, it took me a while. So, what am I going to do during these next few months that I'm porting? I have no idea. I pulled this up just to kind of share it with you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback. Even if I was interested in making this game, what would this game need to be in order to make it a releasable commercial project? Whoops. I don't know. I'm not sure. And that's kind of where I hesitate, because I say to myself, if I'm going to work on this game, what is my commitment level? It took me over 4 years to work on Legend Bowl. I don't think I can make a game in less than 1 year that's worth anybody's time. That's my thought process. So then I say, okay, if I can't do that, what's the point in committing? So, I wanted to do a video. I wanted to share with you guys kind of a few things of what I'm doing. And I'm not sure where this is going to go. This may just sit in my library and never actually come out. But I figured I'd share it again with you guys. I have shown this in the past. This is just a current version of where we left off. And now that I'm not working on Legend Bowl 2, as of this moment, I need to figure out what it is that I'm going to do. And that is a challenge for me, because I end up sitting here and not just clueless of where I'm going and what I'm doing. And it is what it is. But this game is moving forward. It does have some cool concepts to it. There are things that are working, and we can probably make something small out of this, charge a few bucks, sell it, see if anybody likes it, and go from there and add another game to our library. And that's kind of the idea too. They're indie developers that they look at quantity versus quality. I have started with the quality route, and I want to make a game. I really want to follow the Super Mega Baseball model. Some people say I can't do it, or I'm not going to be able to do it, but that's the model that I would love to follow. Make a great game and just make it better every iteration, and one day have a game that's so good that it's on par with a AAA company. And maybe you get bought out one day. That's always a possibility, right? That's a nice thing to have. EA Sports bought them, and they made a lot of money, I'm sure. EA has deep pockets. So that's not my goal. My goal would not be to start up a business and sell it, but it's a nice problem to have, right? The idea, though, is you can go quality versus quantity. And there are some guys who have multiple streams of income, which I really would love to have also, because games don't make you rich typically. And if I can make a cool game, then it's great. The other major component to this is my artist. You have to have art in your game, as I mentioned earlier. We know how critical it is. We know how important it is. And if you have an artist on board with you, then you have a chance. If you don't, you're struggling. You're struggling. You got to go and buy assets. You have to find a way to make all of these different art pieces that you have to go buy, or try to make simple art yourself. You have to make that work. And it's not that simple to do. So this is where I'm at. It's Monday. I'm a little bit grumpy. I didn't get the best sleep, but you guys are important to me. I want to share where I'm at with you. And if you can help me out in any way, push me off the ledge, tell me what to do, I'll do it. I can design Legend Bowl 2. I can start working really hard on that, but I can't really do coding because of the situation that we're in. I also need to help out the publisher. They have questions. They have things that aren't working. I'm doing some support on their end. I am coding some things on their end for them. I'm also going to need to be testing the new ports. There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming in the near months. It's exciting, but there are times where you find yourself in this pocket where it's like, okay, I'm stuck in this bunker. What do I do? And it becomes a waiting game. So that's where I'm at, guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Leave some comments below if you have anything, any input, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.